Scott, you loved Earl and Bernice. I have a memory when I was a kid of way after hours at the Eldora Million, you hugging Bernice, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I know how much those two meant to you. This guy was entrusted with the legacy of this place. How do you think he's done so far since he's had it?
Awesome. I mean, it's really just continued on with it to what I feel that Earl would love. And yeah, Earl, one of the best stories I have with Earl and Bernice is after I won the Dream one night, Earl got in the liquor cabinet up top and came down to my motorhome, and we sat there until Bernice found him and took him back by the ear. It took her a while to find him though, so we were in pretty good shape when she did.
That's one thing I know about Earl and Bernice was everybody thought Earl ran the show. Well, he ran the racing show, but in the big picture, Bernice ran everything. And,
Yeah.
and when she was ready to shut it down for the night, it was shut down immediately.
I got to enjoy a lot of really cool stories though about when he played music and used to play in all these places around here, and just he's really a really interesting individual. And you know, I couldn't think of anyone better than Tony to take this place over and to be able to carry the mystique, and just like he commented to me earlier, you know, every decision that he makes, he said they think about what would Earl do, and I think he's done excellent.
Tony, you know, there is such an aura about Scott Bloomquist here. He might be more associated with this racetrack than any drivers associated with any racetracks, all the moments he's had here. You know, for better or for worse, what has Scott Bloomquist meant to Eldora during his career here?
Well, when you speak of just the dirt late model side, I mean, Scott, probably more so than any driver in the history of dirt late model racing, has single-handedly grown the sport. And every one of these people that come through and buy a ticket to watch Scott at Eldora, they're one of two people. They're either come to watch him win the race, or they come to see him get beat. But no matter which it is, 100% of those people come to see Scott Bloomquist in one capacity or the other. So no matter if he's not their favorite driver, it doesn't matter who their favorite driver is, they still come to see Scott. So it's the only other person in motorsports that I've ever seen like that was Dale Earnhardt Sr. And Dale was the one that taught me that one day. It was a lesson that he taught me, and he had got introduced, and 100% of the people either cheered or booed, and then I went behind him, and it was the same thing. And we got in the back of the truck on the wave lap, and he goes, you finally made it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'd never been booed at a race. And he goes, the guy that was behind us, which I won't name, was another driver, and he goes, what was their response when they went across? And I said, not much, anything. And he goes, yeah, exactly. He goes, when I went across, everybody made a reaction. When you went across, everybody made a reaction. So that's the mystique that Scott has, and Scott has brought so much to the history and the aura of dirt late model racing at Eldora that, I mean, he's helped build this place to what it is too. As much as Earl and Bernice have, as much as Steve Kinzer and Jack Hewitt have for wing sprint car racing and non-sprint car racing, Scott is single-handedly responsible for some of the greatest moments this facility has ever had with dirt late model racing.
Now you remember when you think they're saying boo, they're really saying boom.
His list of moments here is long. Do you have a favorite Scott Bloomquist moment?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the first time I came and ran a dirt late model here was for the World 100, and it was a year that the old format where you qualified on Friday night, it rained out and we had to qualify on Saturday, and the first 40 cars were the fastest 40 cars of the field, and I drew 200 and something for both rounds of qualifying. But the next time I came, I was driving Mark Richards' car at the Dream and started on the pole, and Scott got by me, and it was such a reaction from the crowd when Scott passed me. And then I was able to get back by him about 20 laps later, and it was the same reaction, just the opposite side of the fans. And that was one of the coolest moments, because it's like, you know you just passed the greatest to run a late model at Eldora. And to see the fans that wanted to see the NASCAR guy get past, and then the fans that wanted to see Scott get past, that was one of the coolest moments for me to be a part of that with him. And you know, we had a tire that chunked out, and neither one of us won the race. I think Owens beat us on that one. We ran each other pretty hard there, but I think it's because we, honestly, from my side, I respect him so much that I'm like, if I can beat him, it's more than just winning a race, and it's more than winning the dream. It's you beat Scott Bloomquist at the dream, and that was really hard to do at that time.
When you hear him say that, what does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it feels good to hear him say it. If I do remember that race well, and I was quite surprised how well he ran. And I'd like to see it come down to me, him at the end, but you know, Jimmy kind of upset that. But no, it was exciting. It was enjoyable. Sometimes, you know, I don't always enjoy races. You know, it's just like I take them so serious, and you feel like you just have something that can go wrong, that can take you out of the whole equation. So when they're over, it's like, oh, mission accomplished. You're just done. All the load's off. You just love the ride home then. But I've had a lot of long rides home from here, and I've had some real short ones, or some times that I never wanted to leave the place, you know, after you win the race. And it's just, there is no energy or excitement like this place.
I was going to ask you, what does, you know, I asked him what Bloomquist means to Eldora. What does Eldora mean to Bloomquist?
It's where I came and almost left when I got here, you know. I mean, I come in and I one open hauler, and they come in, there was 250 plus cars, and they paid $5,000 per second, and it paid $5,000 at home per second, and I knew I could win that. And I looked around and I went, what am I doing here? And I almost packed up and left and went to the $5,000 in Tennessee. And I said, I've got to start sooner or later, might as well see what happens. And to win the first year we came here was so unbelievable. You know, that's what people ask me, which highlight. That is the highlight of my career, winning the World 100 my first visit. So then it come back, and we did win it 2 years later, and then we went for the longest drought and ran second so many times. Those were some long rides home, and it's just to get that much success right out of the box, and then go and run second for 15 years almost, it felt like, you know, or I don't even know how long it was, but it's still too long. But this place is, when you pull in, you don't even feel like the same person as you do when you go to another race somewhere else. It's an aura this place has that, especially once all the fans roll in and it's time when that feature's ready to start, the energy level here is priceless, and nowhere like it.
Last question I have for you guys. Tony recently turned 50. Scott, I don't want to say how long has been in his 50s for
50-ish.
50-ish. Racing in your 50s, guys. What is it like? Either one of you can go first.
It seems like
Mine ain't no different, right?
No, and you know, I think the thing that's a positive to it is we got experience. I mean, we have years of knowledge and things that we've learned, and things that these kids in their early 20s, it's going to take them years to figure that stuff out. But as time goes on and the cars get better, it makes it easier for these young kids to not have to know the tricks that Scott knows and the tricks that I know and have learned over our careers, and the things that made us good for so long. Those are tricks these kids probably are never going to have to learn in these cars, whether it's sprint car racing or late models or anything else. The cars are just that good. The technology's that good. So it's the thing that I'm going to speak for both of us on this, we both had to learn and evolve over time to
Hard
learn.
knocks.
Yeah, and learn the new technology and learn. We've had to adapt as times have changed. These kids that are coming in at the easiest time to get in good cars that feel good, but everybody's cars are good. So it's easy to go fast. It's harder to win because it's that much more difficult and the fields are that tight nowadays.
How are your bodies?
Wore out.
My mind's 21. My body, I had that motorcycle accident. It's taken me a little longer to get over that than I thought, but you know, I'm not jumping down under the car and jumping back out, if that's what you mean. I'm getting up slower and I'm doing things slower. I'm not on the lake water skiing and doing the things like that anymore. I've learned my limitations, but this sport is such a mental game. As long as you're sharp mentally, You got good eyesight and good reflexes. Who knows when the end is? I mean, I don't really foresee it anytime soon. So right now it's just a number.
Yeah, when you're in the car, you don't feel it in the race car. You feel it in the morning. You feel it after the races.
When you get out of the car, you start, ooh.
And when the adrenaline falls off an hour after the race is over, you really start feeling it. But it's, I tell everybody, I said, we age in race car drivers, if they've lived to be in their 40s or 50s, they age in dog years. And that's what your body, I mean, I had back surgery at the end of February to get hardware taken out of my back. And they showed me a normal spine and they showed me my spine, and it doesn't even remotely look the same as what it's supposed to look like. But that's 40 plus years of pulling seat belts down and being in race cars, bouncing around dirt tracks and pavement tracks and concrete walls before safer barriers and before we had nice containment seats and all those things that we lived through and had to deal with before, the safety advancements came.
Just remember, it's not the years, it's the miles. And we got a lot of miles on us. And we're high mileage units, how's that?
Yeah. We're not going to have much trading value.